Namaste and welcome to this video about the full yogic breath. So in previous videos we've explored the natural spontaneous breath, the abdominal or diaphragmatic breath, the thoracic breath and the clavicular breath. So today we're going to put together our three parts to make the three-part breath or the full yogic breath. So this is easiest done lying down, but if you prefer not to lie down, if you don't practice yoga on a mat, then you may prefer to sit in a chair or sit upright if you prefer. So if you're lying down, then you might want to have a little something to put underneath your knees. It's just helpful to allow the low back to really release. But if you don't need something underneath your knees, you don't have to. You can have a cushion if it's appropriate, or you can just choose to place your feet on the floor and keep your knees bent. That's also good. So for our full yogic breath, we're here, we have our torsos as long as we are able to. And we're going to start by just observing the natural spontaneous breath with our palms turned upwards if possible. So settle yourself into a comfy position and then bringing your body a little to stillness here. Just observing your natural breath. Observe the rate and the rhythm of your breath. The depth of your breath. And the smoothness of the breath. Without judgment, you don't need to change it, just allow it to be. Then notice where your breath is moving in your body. Which parts of your body are moving the most as you breathe? And place your hand, or your right hand, on your body where your breath is moving the most. For a few breaths, just making sure that your hand is rising and falling with your breath. It doesn't matter where your hand is. So this can tell you quite a lot about how you're feeling, the sort of mental state that you have as well. So if your breath is very high up in your torso, towards the top of your chest or the center of your chest, can indicate a little bit of worry or tension or stress. And it might be just that you're nervous here doing a breath that you're unfamiliar with. And if your breath is lower towards the bottom of the rib cage or even into the abdomen, then it indicates that you're a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more at ease. And we can change our breath to allow that to be the case for us. If you're feeling nervous or tense or stressed, we can move the breath down in the body to help us to feel more ease, more relaxed. So, having observed your natural breath, take your right hand and place it onto your abdomen. And see if you can move your breath down into the diaphragmatic breath that we did in a previous session. So moving the breath coming into the lower lobes of the lungs so that the belly just naturally rises and falls a little. You're not pushing the belly out. You're not engaging your muscles to be able to do that. It's moving with the breath. And that might mean taking a fuller breath. That's okay. Allowing your rhythm to be deeper and perhaps slower. Maybe as you breathe this way, you can feel a sense of ease. Perhaps you can relax the features of your face and your shoulders. To bring a sense of relaxation as well. When you've got that belly breath going on, take your other hand, your left hand, and rest it onto your chest. We're going to try and draw the breath down into the belly first. And on the same inhale, draw the breath up into the chest before letting go of the breath in a steady exhalation. Drawing the breath, I can't get that right. Drawing the breath into the belly first, up into the chest, and then releasing in a slow and steady exhalation. Drawing the breath down into the belly, up into the chest, and releasing with a slow and steady exhalation. Keep moving in this way. We've coordinated the abdominal breathing or the diaphragmatic breathing with the thoracic breathing. So we've married the first two stages of our three-part breath. As you breathe in this way, try not to hold the breath. There's a natural pause, perhaps at the top of the breath as you inhale, maybe at the bottom of the breath as you exhale. But try to avoid pausing or holding for longer than that natural pause. See if you can get a distinct feeling of filling the lowest lobes of the lungs in that diaphragmatic breath, that belly breath, and then filling the middle part of the lungs, the whole of the rib cage, with that thoracic breath, and then exhaling. Allow your inhaled breath to find all of the nooks and crannies, all of the spaces in those areas. Breath going, but move your right hand to the top of your chest. If you can, your arms to the floor. I can't do that. Maybe I can. There we are. And then we're going to breathe deep into the diaphragmatic, the abdominal breath. Move the breath up into the full thoracic region, the whole of the rib cage. And move the breath up again into the clavicular area, the area at the very top of the chest under the collarbones. And then exhale fully, deeply and steadily. Breathing deep into the lowest lobe of the lungs first, through into the whole of the thorax, the whole of the rib cage, and then drawing the breath just that little bit higher still up into the area under the clavicles, under the collarbones, and then exhaling fully. Notice how much longer your breath is. as you breathe, find all of the spaces that the breath can move into. Keep breathing in this way. If you feel that the breath is familiar, you can rest your hands back down to the floor, or keep them on your body if you prefer. And you may choose to exhale in different ways. So if you're happy just to allow the breath to release in the way it naturally does, you can do that. You can carry on in that fashion. If you prefer, you might prefer to release from the top of the lungs through the center to the base. You can try that. And that might feel natural for some people. Personally, I can't do that. That doesn't feel at all natural for me. I prefer to release from the bottom of the lungs to the top. Releasing the breath from the abdomen, then the thorax, the rib cage, and then the collarbones. Choose the rhythm and the method that works the best for you, that feels the most comfortable. And when you've settled into it, try relaxing your face and your jaw and your shoulders again. Remember that it can take time to learn to breathe in this full, expansive way. And it can take a little patience, a little practice. If you found a nice, steady, slow rhythm, enjoy it. Keep softening the tension from your face if you find it there. And if you want to add just one extra element, you can try drawing your breath up to the third eye center, which is between the eyebrows on the forehead. So as you breathe in, breathing first into your belly or into the low lobes of the lungs, then moving the breath up into the rib cage, up into the collarbones, and drawing it up to see if you can feel it touch the third eye, and then releasing all the way down. Give it a go, particularly if this is a breath you're familiar with. It can add an extra element to it. It can help to visualize filling the body with prana, the breath of life, the energy of life, and drawing that energy all the way up to the third eye before releasing, letting go of any stale, stagnant energy as you exhale. Notice how long your breath is. And when you're ready, perhaps you want to continue for a little while longer, that's okay. When you're ready, releasing your breath back into its natural rhythm. And allow it to fall a little quieter, maybe even into silence. Observe the effect of your practice. When you're ready, you can gently roll to one side, taking a moment just on your side, in your own time, finding your way into any comfortable seated position. If you want to use a bit of support, you can. So the full yogic breath is a really expansive breath. It's a great way of filling yourself with prana, a really gentle, revitalizing, rejuvenating. And there are probably lots of other things that I can't remember because I got so relaxed there. But as we work into other breath practices, the full yogic breath can be really useful when you're doing pranayama, and also when you're practicing some of the more relaxing postures like child's pose or relaxation, or some yin poses as well. Yin yoga is very useful for. So I hope you enjoyed your full yogic breath. Do practice a few breaths every day. It's a breath to come to and practice, and then move back into your natural breathing pattern. But you can feel free to practice this breath for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. It won't do you any harm. When you do settle your breath back into its natural rhythm, allow it to find that quietness that perhaps isn't there when you're breathing deeply. And that relaxes particularly our throat chakra, which needs that quietness to come to its balance again after being expressive or loud. And so I wish you namaste. Thank you for joining me for this practice. And we'll move into breathing patterns with our next practice on the breath.